Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another anime review. And today it'll be a Attack on Titan Season 1 review. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. These are usually done kind of towards the night before. So, anyways, to just get that out of the way. I was blind to it completely. I had heard people referencing it quite a bit over the course of past 2 or 3 years. Basically, I didn't have too many spoilers, which is shocking because I've always spoiled myself. I think I did. The only thing I did do was that towards the kind of towards the end of this last couple chapters, I saw some spoiler pictures with the whole Levi with the whole eye thing, and he had 2 fingers, and he's holding up, his ODM gear. That's basically all I saw for spoilers, which was pretty good because usually I always spoil myself, so that was great. The series, takes place in. It's kind of complicated because it's a little bit of like old style, like medieval kind of like, oh, we don't have any technology, but then later on there's a lot more technology, but for the time being it's very medievalish, right? It's very it supposedly takes place in 845, I guess, the time period as it stands. And right off the bat, there's this Titan that just busts open the wall, right? And right when I saw that, I kind of was like, I don't know, I'm not really super into gore that's not necessary, which is why I debate with myself whether I like Berserk for its gore, or if it's beauty, in the drawings, right? And it's such an iconic image, right? And I didn't even notice him kicking the wall, right? Because he's so big. I didn't know what was going on, to be honest, because that happens, that people start scurrying, and his mom gets eaten, like, right off the bat. Wow. And right off the bat, too, Eren Yeager, he's something. He's something to be watching out for, right off the bat. I was like, whoa, I was zooming in on this guy, especially when we find out the whole thing with the Mikasa, and Mikasa, she it's interesting, in season 1, she's a total babe, right? But later on, that becomes a little bit less, but still, she is a total babe in this season. She's a badass. She's a badass woman. She's actually taking charge for once. I love how that's what they do. This is a different shonen in the way that it treats its women a little bit different. Some women, they're like, all right, I want to just be doing the office job, right? There's a couple of people that do that, and then this Mikasa and later on Annie, they're total badasses, which is like, hell, even in One Piece we don't have total badasses all the time for women. Maybe in the recent chapter, but for the most part, the women just kind of they just kind of keep their distance, but these women are on the front lines. Annie being the female Titan, I just have to get that out of the way. Even though that's out of chronological order, that was very predictable. I was like, okay. We'll get into season 2 what I thought about that spoiler with Rainer and I can never say that guy's name, Bethold or whatever. I wasn't expecting that, but Annie was very predictable. She looked like the female Titan, right? And there's only one person that looked like that and had that stance, right? So that was a cool reference later on. It got a little, I think the boringest part about maybe the whole series was the chase with the female Titan in the forest that drug on too long. And then Petra and basically all those Levi squad gets brutally murdered. And in this series, especially season 1, does not hold back on the murder. Petra's head gets broken. It's like, she's straight up against a tree. A couple people get like ripped, and there's so many people that get eaten. And Marco, and man, if you feel bad for Marco because he just wanted a dialogue, and he gets freaking eaten alive. Brutal shit. The Titans just completely just destroy Wall. It's a brutal show, right? And I think It's interesting that there's a fine balance, right? There's this basement, right? And it's so bizarre how before the destruction, it's like it has a fine balance, right? If it was only gore and destruction, I'd be like, this stinks, right? This isn't anything. But there's this weird glimmer of hope, right? It doesn't matter if there is or isn't. The basement is this key, and Aaron Yeager has the key, right? And the basement, and I'm not gonna spoil what's in it right now, but I mean, the basement itself is pretty amazing as a plot line, because you got a goal. A character has to have a goal, right? This is why the Ichigo thing, he never really had a goal, right? So this is why Eren works right off the bat, right? Maybe he's not a great protagonist later on, but he is a great main character. And I think it's pretty amazing. Some of the things that we see right up, right with the whole training. We actually get a training montage. It's pretty interesting. I didn't think we'd be getting that, from what I heard about the series going into it. The whole 104th cadet thing, the dedicate your heart. The soundtracks are beautiful. Vogel and Kimo, that's just a ridiculous soundtrack. It is seriously a godly soundtrack, like seriously. And then, of course, my favorite soundtrack has to be, Mankind's Counterattack, and it's got that, there's a video on YouTube with it, with Mikasa kind of, very cool sounding. It sounds like you're running up a hill and you're like, I'm gonna do it, like, and getting over these Titans and actually killing them, and actually, I love how General Praxis or something, I cannot remember, I can't pronounce names very well, but they overthrow like that. They finally get back that district, and when Eren lifts the rock and he seals that was just like, that was sublime, and that's what an anime show should be doing. And mind you, usually when I was watching season 1, I was coming back from work at like 6, from the 6 a.m. shift, so I was tired as hell, right? And I would just, have a lunch, and like I'd usually watch about 17 minutes and then just fall asleep for the last bit, and then wake up in the next episode in a daze. But still, I was watching it. I love it. If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it. The animation is beautiful. It looks like clouds. It looks like scenery, and there's sunsets, and it's just wow. It's a breath of fresh air, especially if you come from any Toei animation show. It's just like, oh man, what if Toei could be like this? It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. But then, like I said, we kind of get like, it's kind of interesting, when they're in this, they part of that retaking of that district, right? I think it was District Rose. They get into this place, right? And mind you, when they had that flashback with Eren and Armin, and the whole the whole sea thing, that's massively important. I mean, that's such a nice goal to have, right? It's interesting that we found that right then and there is when we find out they're on an island, and it's like, wow, yeah, they don't know what a sea is, they don't know an ocean, they don't know what any of this stuff is, so it's pretty amazing. You're very secluded on an island, right? And so that kind of creates other problems, You just miss so much when you're on such a small amount of land. So one of those things, really, it's so exciting to actually watch a show like this sometimes, though, because I don't know, some shows shy away from the violence, or the fact that Mikasa is gonna become, I don't know what, and it's kind of interesting how they call her Oriental. I haven't heard that word ever used really. I'm not really sure why they didn't just use Asian, but I don't know. I guess that like they said towards the end of season 1, this season of season 1, the world is cruel, right? So everything about it is cruel. Brutal. Any indication of sexual orientation, any race, all that murder, it's all brutal, right? So the king, he's, it's kind of interesting now. There's this kingdom kind of thing, and and there's like these elements of royalty, going on. And then Erwin and Hanji and Levi. I feel like those are like the three, like the like a team, like the Team Seven, like those Sensei kind of guys from Naruto kind of guys. And Levi is definitely my favorite from the series. Even after going all the way up to 134, I think he's still my favorite, for the male characters anyways. He's a badass. He's intelligent. He knows what he has to do. When he was, they all thought Eren was a monster because he was a Titan, which was very interesting. I did not see Eren becoming a Titan. I mean, I vaguely knew, but I didn't know that he was actually going to become a Titan that way by getting eaten and like that. Very interesting right off the bat. Then he, basically gets all these Titans. It's kind of interesting. He roars and he gets them closer, and then he just kills them all. And I was like fascinated by that. And then the government, of course, thinks that he is a Titan that is, to their point of view, they don't even know what's going on, right? He's just someone they can turn into a giant monster that's destroying their land, and for no reason, right? So it's pretty bizarre, and it's pretty interesting how, he goes from this kid with a goal with the basement that has a family to having no one, no family, no nothing. They're all gone. To having this kind of like bizarre, like, now he has like Titan powers and he's a shifter, and now he's talking with Hanji all night. And Hanji, it's interesting. I guess Hanji is not a woman or a man, which is like, I don't really know. She's clearly a woman because she dresses like, I don't know what that's about. I don't know why the author had to do that. But Hanji's pretty cool. She's interesting how season 1, I didn't really find her that interesting. I found her more irritating more than anything, but she's a character that kind of grows on you, so you kind of have to, take it with a grain of salt. And then there's characters like, Bethed or whatever, the guy that hangs out with Rainer, and those two guys, Rainer's, they had this kind of relationship with like Eren, like big brother, little brother kind of thing, even though. And then Jean, I kind of like Jean. Jean seems like the only normal guy. Jean and maybe Coney and Sasha's total waifu too. The potato girl. It's just, she's had a hard life, you could tell, with the whole food thing, and she doesn't care about it. She doesn't have good manners, with the whole cadet training, but gotta love Sasha. Really cool. Like, I love a woman that can eat, so it's pretty cool that she actually, it's, like I said, variety of women in Attack on Titan, and they're there. I mean, she literally, like, at one point shoots one of her ODM gears into this, I think it was Coney's leg, to save him. And it's like, that's it. You're soldiers. Like, at the end of the day, you could do whatever you want personality-wise, but you are a soldier first. And that's like the whole, like, dedicate your heart thing to Eldia. And, like, they gotta, like, you gotta do your thing, right? And so that's what I think is really cool about the women from Attack on Titan, for sure. And then you have Erwin, and honestly, Erwin doesn't have a lot of development in season 1, but he is kind of the main leader of the scouts, and whatever he says goes. And he has all these randomly inspirational speeches, but it's interesting how he says to Eren, who's the enemy here? And you could still apply that to chapter 134, sorry. Who is the enemy in this situation, right? And so I think that's just beautifully done. It's a very well done series, from season 1 anyways. We'll get into season 2 next time. It's a lot shorter, so it'll be a bit of a shorter video. And that shocker of Eren overcoming, the last thing I was going to say is the shocker of Eren overcoming the female Titan, beating the female Titan, and then having Annie actually just a chrysalis. Wow. That was something. I didn't see that coming at all, and that's what's great about the series. You will not see a lot of stuff coming. So I think it's a great series. If you watch it or if you read it, either way, the artwork takes a little bit to get too used to, but once you get too used to it, it's just, it's a drop in the hat, right? So, anyways, fantastic series. If you haven't seen it, let me know if I convince you, or if you want to actually giving me your thoughts about Attack on Titan Season 1. I've seen all the other seasons, but just in case, just do the spoiler thing if you're going to comment anything. And anyways, I'll see you guys till next time, and have a great one. Bye.